The hidden symbols of Washington, D.C. Secrets behind America's most powerful city. Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. A city of monuments, marble, and power. But what if the real story of Washington wasn't just about politics? What if the buildings we pass by, the monuments we admire, were filled with hidden meanings, forgotten messages, and quiet symbols most people never notice? Why was the Washington Monument built like a giant needle? Why does the Capitol sit on a hill? And what's buried beneath it? And did you know that the Lincoln Memorial was designed to look like a temple, not just a tribute? These landmarks weren't just built to impress. They were built to speak, to guide, to remind us of what America was, what it wanted to be, and what it still struggles with today. The beginning. Washington's secret plan. Washington wasn't supposed to be a city like any other. It was designed from scratch, full of geometry, symbolism, and power. Some say its original layout even held Masonic messages. Whether you believe that or not, one thing is true. Every part of the city was meant to mean something. Now I am going to tell you about Washington Monument, the leader who chose to step back. It rises like a whisper, 555 feet into the sky. The Washington Monument. Sharp, silent, unmoving. A giant stone needle standing at the very heart of the Capitol. No statue, no speeches carved into its sides, no crown at the top, just stone and silence. George Washington didn't ask for this. He never wanted to be a king. In fact, he walked away from power. Twice. Once after leading the army to victory, and again after serving as president. He stepped back so the country could step forward. That's why this monument doesn't speak loudly. It honors a man who believed that true leadership isn't about taking the spotlight. It's about knowing when to leave it. And yet, despite its simplicity, it stands taller than everything around it. Maybe because the strongest things are often the quietest. But not far from here, another tower rises. Not from stone, but from tension. A tower that doesn't tell the story of a man, but tells the story of balance. Now that you've seen the strength of silence, let me show you the strength of tension. Needle Tower. Strength without pressure. The Needle Tower. It doesn't honor anyone. It doesn't carry flags or names, but it stands, tall and light, held up by invisible force. This sculpture, made by Kenneth Snelson, isn't about power. It's about balance. Thin steel rods and cables pulling against each other, but never falling. It's called tensegrity, tension and integrity. The more each part pulls, the more the whole stands strong. And isn't that what democracy should be? Different parts, different pressures, but somehow still holding together. That idea of strength through balance leads us to the very place where America tries to find balance every day. This tower doesn't stand because of pressure. It stands because every part holds the other up. A balance of tension and trust. And just down the street, there's a place where that same idea is tested every single day. Let's go to Capitol Building. The struggle to agree. The Capitol. The heart of the American government. From a distance, it looks peaceful, a shining dome on a hill. But inside, it holds debates, division, decisions. Laws are written here. Voices rise and clash. Ideas are tested, challenged, reshaped. The building was once burned. Its dome was rebuilt during a civil war. And atop it stands a statue, placed there by a man who had once been enslaved. Even in its most broken moments, the Capitol has tried to move forward. But in that struggle, between ideas, between people, there must be something to hold on to. Something constant. That something is carved in stone just down the steps. Still, steady and waiting. Inside the Capitol, voices clash and decisions are made. But just down the steps, away from the noise, there sits a man carved in stone, watching, remembering, and still reminding us who we're meant to be. Lincoln Memorial. A voice that still echoes. He sits in silence, yet somehow he speaks louder than most. Abraham Lincoln, watching over the city, across the reflection pool. His temple, built like those of ancient Greece, isn't just a monument. It's a place to remember what we must never forget. On one wall, the Gettysburg Address. On the other, his second inaugural speech. Both short, both powerful, both written not just for his time, but for ours. He speaks of sacrifice, of unity, of pain, and of healing. Visitors don't just take pictures here. They sit, they reflect, they feel. And maybe that's what Washington, D.C. truly is. Not just a city of power, but a city of memory. A place where ideas take shape, in marble, in steel, in silence, and still find ways to speak. And maybe that's what Washington, D.C. truly is. Not just a city of power, but a city of memory. A place where ideas take shape, in marble, in steel, in silence, and still find ways to speak. You just have to slow down and listen. And if this journey made you think, even for a moment, consider sharing it with someone else who loves stories that matter. Feel free to like the video, and if you'd like to hear more hidden history told with heart, you're welcome to subscribe. There's so much more to uncover, and this is just the beginning.